When the tired janitor slipped into the back row of the crowded graduation hall, no one noticed him. His hands still smelled faintly of bleach, his old boots were cracked, and his suit, borrowed 2 sizes too big, hung awkwardly on his thin frame. Parents around him were dressed in silk, expensive perfumes floating through the air. Some even glanced at him with quiet judgment. He ignored them all. His eyes searched for just one face, his son's. But on his left wrist, hidden for years beneath long sleeves and shame, was a faded tattoo. A tattoo that wasn't just ink, it was a silent war story. And when a Navy captain walking down the aisle spotted that tattoo, he stopped walking. His confident posture broke. His eyes filled with tears. The entire hall fell silent. And when the captain whispered just 3 words, "You saved my life," every heart in that room shattered and rebuilt again. Stay with this story, because the reason that old janitor became invisible will change the way you see heroes forever. Ethan Miller never imagined he would be a janitor at 46. In high school, he was a star athlete, the kind of young man teachers spoke about with admiration. Strong, disciplined, dependable. Then he joined the Navy. War changed everything. He returned home quieter, slower, scarred in ways that could never be stitched or medicated. He lost friends, lost his confidence, lost his wife, who couldn't understand the man who came back from the battlefield. But he didn't lose one thing, his newborn son Noah. Years passed, and life became small. A tiny apartment. 2 jobs. Night shifts cleaning government buildings. Morning shifts at a high school. Ethan never complained. When Noah was asleep, he would sit on the floor beside his bed, whispering promises he didn't know how to keep. "I'll give you more than I ever had," he'd say. "Even if it costs me everything." Noah grew up believing his father was just a cleaner. Ethan made sure of that. He didn't want his son carrying the heavy name of war. He didn't want him asking questions about blood and fire, and the screams that haunted his nights. Noah needed peace, not his father's past. Years later, Noah became the top engineering student in his class. Scholarships, awards, offers from big universities. Graduation day arrived like a miracle. Ethan bought a cheap second-hand suit. He stood in front of a broken mirror for a long time, staring at the man with hollow eyes. For the first time in years, he rolled up his sleeve. The tattoo stared back. A Navy unit number. A fallen brother's initials. A date burned into his soul. He almost rolled it back down. Almost. But then he whispered, "For you, Noah." And he went. Inside the graduation hall, surrounded by wealthy parents and proud families, Ethan stayed hidden in the back. That was where he thought he belonged. Invisible. Quiet. Forgotten. Until fate had another plan. Captain Daniel Harris entered the hall as a guest speaker. Decorated. Respected. Admired. His presence commanded silence. As he walked toward the stage, his eyes scanned the audience. Military training, instinct, memory. Then he saw it. That tattoo. The world spun. Daniel stopped in the aisle. No one understood why. Then he turned fully. Walked slowly toward the mysterious janitor in the back row. Each step felt like walking through time. He knelt in front of Ethan. A Navy captain, kneeling to a janitor. Whispers filled the hall. Cameras lifted. Breath stopped. "You carried me out of the fire," Daniel said, voice breaking. "You stayed behind while the building collapsed. You dragged 3 of us through smoke when everyone else ran. We thought you died." Tears ran down Ethan's face. "I was just doing my duty," he whispered. "No," Daniel shook his head. "You did more. You saved my life. My family's life. My future." Daniel stood up and turned to the crowd. "This man is not a janitor, he is a forgotten hero. A warrior who traded his medals for a mop, just to raise his son." Noah, standing on stage, froze. "Dad," he whispered. Ethan stood slowly, eyes locked with his son's. "I never wanted you to carry my nightmares," he said. "I only wanted you to dream." Noah ran to him. Father and son embraced. The hall erupted in applause. Not for degrees. Not for honors. But for a man who was invisible. And chose love anyway. The principal stepped forward. "Today, we don't just honor graduates. We honor sacrifice." That day, Ethan didn't just attend a graduation. He graduated too. From silence. To recognition. To peace. Some heroes wear medals. Some wear uniforms. And some carry trash bags and broken mops. But they carry the world on their shoulders for the people they love. If a father can sacrifice his pride for his child. If a man can stay invisible just so his son can shine. Then maybe, hope is not lost in this world after all.